Mario Maker 2 is full of unique enemies that different creators use in their levels in very unique ways across the board. But then you run into those specific levels with those enemies that make you just want to quit because they're either spammed or used in such horrible ways. So today we're looking at what those enemies are as we're making a top 10 list of the most annoying enemies in Mario Maker 2. We're not just talking about how annoying the enemy is by himself, but we're talking about the attributes that the enemy has inside of a level, how the maker uses those enemies and the weird things that can happen when those enemies are on stage and how they just mess with you and make you just purely annoyed. Before we get started, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new. Currently only 8% of you guys that are subscribed tune into the videos, so please feel free to subscribe if you enjoy the content. It helps me a lot. Number 10, Mecha Koopas. Mecha Koopas are not the worst on our list, but they are kind of bad, especially in the Mario Maker scene. These are one of the only enemies in the game that can teleport before you hit them, and not only that, but their magical staffs turn things like bricks into more enemies. So if you have tons of these enemies on stage, they can turn thousands of bricks into thousands of Goombas or Koopa Troopas to make the stage even more flooded than what it is. So they can obviously be a problem if a maker starts flooding them on one of the stages. So hopefully they don't do that, but these guys aren't the worst obviously on this list. Number 9, the Whomps. Now, Whomps are not the problem themselves, but it's the makers that put these guys in the levels, because normally you can see them and they know they're going to drop straight down, not to walk underneath them. But you can't really know that if you can't see them. Lots of creators like to put the Whomps off the screen, so the point where you walk at a random location and boom, you're smashed when you didn't even see anything in your way. Lots of the time, creators also put them at the very beginning of levels, making the player have to move out of the way very quickly, and lots of the time you forget. Even when you die multiple times, you'll respawn and oops, I forgot that there was a thwomp above me. That's a real problem, and even now, you can make these guys move sideways, which is even more of a problem. Number 8, Porky Puffer. Porky Puffer is just a fish that jumps out of the water and tries to attack Mario. I think we can all agree that this enemy is one of the most annoying enemies in the new Super Mario Bros. Franchise. But here in Mario Maker, it gets even worse because once again, spamming. If you spam this fish on the water, I'm telling you what, it gets crazy. These guys already jump out of the water and try to get Mario, but a lot of them constantly jumping out of the water non-stop trying to eat Mario could be annoying. And even underwater, where they will continue to chase you non-stop, can be a serious problem. Underwater levels are already bad as they are, but please don't make them worse by spamming Porky Puffer's creators, please. Number 7, Mecha Koopas. Mecha Koopas are not bad originally, as they just walk around slowly, you step on their heads, you can pick them up and throw them, and that's it. But the new update for Mario Maker 2 added 2 brand new styles, the Blasta Mecha Koopa and the Zappa Mecha Koopa. Blasta Mecha Koopas have an extremely OP laser that can pretty much go through any material on screen, any platform, any ground, and completely zap you when you're not paying attention. And if you put them on the rail, they go back and forth and continue to zap on a continuous basis. So you have to always keep your eyes out. Now for me, Blasta Mecha Koopas are the most annoying. They shoot these bullets that continue to follow you non-stop, almost like homing bullet bills, and they just keep coming after you, and I hate it because if you put a lot of them on stage, you'll have these bullets that continue to follow you everywhere you go, and when you're not looking, you will get hit in the back by one of these things, and they can be extremely annoying in Mario Maker 2. Number 6, Chain Chomps. Now I really just don't like Chain Chomps because of them. Not much of creators, because the only thing you can really do with a Chain Chomp as a creator is have them dangle from their chains on rails, which they can swing back and forth and be kind of a nuisance, but besides that, it's really just Chain Chomps being annoying. If you want to defeat one, you'll have to ground pound or do something to its post in order to get them out of the ground and to fly away. You can also pick them up with the new Super Mario Bros. 2 mushroom, but just getting to the peg in the first place can cause some major problems. I just think it's really hard to get over the guy if he's on the ground, but if he's anywhere else, I think you can just duck underneath him or run by. But trying to jump over a Chain Chomp with unpredicted patterns is something that's not too much fun to play with in Mario Maker 2. Enjoying the video so far? Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and also comment some enemies that you think are tough for yourself, and see if your enemies are in the final 5. Number 5, bullies. I actually really love these guys as an enemy, and I think it's really cool that they came from Super Mario 3D World. They can't hurt you, but they can really hurt you, if you know what I mean. If you get pushed off of a platform into a lava pit or into some type of drop-off by a bully, it is the most frustrating thing in the world. You're trying your best to kill these guys by jumping on their head and pushing them off, but a second one is running behind you and pushes you off the ledge instead. this is pain if you've ever felt pain. And it's not even just getting pushed off the ledge. If you're just on a platform getting pushed back and forth or getting bullied by a whole bunch of these guys, it can be extremely annoying to make your footing and to get up higher, especially if it's an auto-scroller and you have to move, but these guys are preventing you from going where you need to go. Bullies are one of my favorite enemies in Mario Maker 2, but they can definitely be annoying, and like I said, if you get pushed off of a ledge, that's an instant death, and that can really hurt, especially if you haven't reached the level's checkpoint yet. Oh yeah, did I also mention that they are indestructible, and you have to knock them off of a platform in order for them to be killed as well, so yeah, kind of annoying. Number 4, Munchers. The thing that makes Munchers so annoying is the fact that they cannot be killed, like at all. The only way to kill them at all is to use a POW block, and that's why they're very annoying, because creators use them as puzzling ways in order to get through a level. They may have different POW blocks moving back and forth, and you'll have to hit all the POW blocks to move the Munchers out of the way. But if there's no POW blocks, you'll have to make your way around them regardless, because you can't touch them at all, which is very annoying. A superstar will allow you to run on the top of them, but besides that, there's no way to take these guys out, and they can be a real big problem if there's a level full of them that requires precise movement out of the player. Number 3, Bloopers. Now, I just hate Bloopers. Once again, this is kind of in the same category as the Chain Chomps, where I just don't like these enemies, because I already don't like underwater levels, and what makes them worse is to have Bloopers. Also, Bloopers can have babies follow after them, which are super annoying, but I'm just talking about the Bloopers in this situation, because they move at such weird patterns where they go up and down at a weird angle and at this weird speed. Sometimes they'll go fast, sometimes they'll slow down. It's hard to really track these guys, and let me tell you, it's almost impossible to dodge a lot of them in a water level. Once again, if you guys spam Bloopers underwater, I'm going to have a tough time regardless. Now, yes, there is the frog suit for Super Mario Bros. 3, which allows you to maneuver underwater like a pro, but still, Bloopers are big nuisances, and especially underwater. And the fact that in Mario Maker 2, you can put them in water and out of water makes them so annoying. There's nothing worse than a level full of Bloopers in the overworld. So hopefully you guys aren't putting Bloopers in overworlds and just leaving them in the water where they belong. Number 2, Lakitus. Now this one was tough to decide on because it was between one enemy and the other, and Lakitu had to go for second place. It was hard because Lakitus are absolutely evil. In Mario Maker 2, you can pretty much feed them the evil that you want to give off. So pretty much, you give Lakitu any item, any enemy, anything in the game, and he can throw them down at Mario, which sucks. And if you have a lot of these guys, you can have each one throw a different enemy, and you could just have tons of enemies just falling from the sky, which can be so annoying to try to dodge them all. And then lots of the time, people tried to trick you by having Lakitus throw coins instead of actual enemies, so that is a big problem. But I never could stand Lakitus in any Mario game, and of course Mario Maker makes it even worse for me as they can throw any item possible, and once again, spamming does not help this problem either. And coming in at number 1 has to be Hammer Bros. I absolutely love Hammer Bros just because of their design. I always picked them in Mario Party, I picked them in any other spin-off Mario game that they come out in, but man, as an enemy, they are so annoying. I cannot stand Hammer Bros in Mario Maker 2 because what people do is they over spam everything with Hammer Bros. The hammers obviously go through all platforms and ground areas so they can hit you from any angle, and obviously already Hammer Bros have a terrible pattern that can never be read. They just chuck hammers whenever they want and you think you'll have it down, but you don't. And they also jump back and forth on platforms to make it even tougher, like we needed that. But let me tell you, Hammer Bros are so annoying in Mario Maker. Think of a guy that puts thousands of Hammer Bros in his level and there's just nothing but hammers flying around everywhere and you can't even see where you need to go. Yes, to be able to spam Hammer Bros should be illegal. I mean, they literally should put a cap on how many Hammer Bros you can put in one area in Mario Maker 2. But it doesn't stop people. They continue to chuck Hammer Bros everywhere they see fit, and I cannot stand these guys. And that is why Hammer Bros are without a doubt the hardest enemy to surpass and the most annoying enemy in Mario Maker 2. And that is my list of the most annoying enemies in Super Mario Maker 2. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and like I said, this is just my opinion, this is my list, so if you disagree or have any other enemies that you think are more annoying, just let me know nicely in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and like always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya, guys.